guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Plant One On Me collection from the brand KB Shimmer. This collection is going on sale March 15th, so in the description box I'll link the KB Shimmer site, I'll link their Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So we do have a total of 9 polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Spring Theory, and this is described as a white crilly base with glitters in the shades blue, purple, yellow, green, and pink. So here's our first coat of Spring Theory. This one is pretty sheer here on this first coat. It is going to cover completely for me in 2 coats because my nails are quite short at this point, but if you have longer nails or a more prominent visible nail line, you might end up needing 3. The formula is excellent though, very buttery, creamy, smooth application, and these glitters are all relatively small, so they do spread out nicely across the nail. So like I said, I got full coverage here in 2 coats. If I were to wear this again, I think I would still opt to go in for that 3rd coat just to get a little bit more glitter on the nail. You can still see through to the first layer of glitter, so it would make a nice depth on the nail of glitter. Anyway, this one is going to dry with some texture because it's glitter, so I do recommend a thicker glitter-eating glossy top coat to smooth this out. And removal will require some scrubbing, again, because of that glitter. So there are 2 coats of Spring Theory. Up next we have So Impatiens, and this is described as a vibrant and punchy pink loaded with shifty shimmer and hollow gold flakes. The shimmer shifts from orange to red to gold to magenta. Here's our first coat of So Impatiens. This one does cover pretty well here on this first coat. It is so stinking glowy and gorgeous on the nail. This is something that I personally would wear all summer long. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. The formula is, again, excellent to work with. KB Shimmer very rarely puts out a formula that's not 100% perfection, so this one is no exception. I got full coverage here with this one in 2 coats. It is going to dry relatively glossy, but if you want that nice plump finished manicure look, you're still going to want a top coat for this. The shimmer that's in here is absolutely stunning. You will see it better in my photos than in the video. Nothing in here is going to dry textured, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats of So Impatiens. Next up we have That's Ranunculus, and this is described as a vibrant orange with sparks of red, magenta, and tangerine, and this one also contains reflective glitter. Here's our first coat of That's Ranunculus. This one covers pretty well here on this first coat. I was able to get full opacity again in 2 coats. A nice solid formula on this too. It's not too thick or too thin. It is a reflective glitter, which does thicken a polish, in my opinion, quite a bit, but that's not to say it's difficult to work with. It's just to say that it's not gonna super level itself out. But this one is nicely opaque anyway, so you don't much have to worry about that. It is going to dry to that sandy texture that these reflective glitters are known for. A couple coats of top coat will smooth that out, or a glitter smoother. KB Shimmer does sell a glitter smoother that you put on under a regular top coat if you want a nice smooth finished manicure. This is also notoriously, in my book, the most difficult polish, or the most difficult glitter to remove, so bear that in mind. There are 2 coats of That's Ranunculus. Next up we have Daffodil With It, and this is described as a vibrant yellow linear holographic polish. Here's our first coat of Daffodil With It, and this one does cover really well here on this first coat. It is a yellow, so it's not super opaque, like 100% opaque, but considering it's a yellow polish, I was very pleased with the coverage. I did get full coverage in 2 coats. It is a holographic, a linear holographic, so it is going to be much more holographic once it's fully dry, and I am just in studio lighting, so it's not going to give the same effect as a daylight shot would. Bear that in mind, it is blaringly holographic out in the sun. 2 coats for full coverage. I do recommend going in for a top coat for that nice plump finish again, but nothing in this is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. I also didn't have any kind of staining with this, but I do think this is a potential stainer if you don't use a base coat. So there are 2 coats of Daffodil With It. Up next we have Change of Plants, and this one is described as a bright green with hues of lemon, yellow, gold, and lime, and this one also has a hint of micro holographic. Here's our first coat of Change of Plants. This one's a little bit sheer here on this first coat. I did do 2 coats and I stopped, but I think this is another one that if I were to wear it again, I would probably opt to go in for a third. It's one of those polishes that is opaque, but if you're looking closely enough at your nails, you might be able to see visible nail line at certain angles, and it's one of those things that absolutely nobody in the world would notice besides you, but I would notice it, so I think I would probably opt to go in for 3 personally. This one has some brush strokes through it once it's wet, but those do completely dissipate as it dries. It is going to dry again relatively glossy, but not super plump, so I would still personally recommend going in for that top coat, but nothing will dry textured and removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Change of Plants. Up next we have Lilac It Or Not, and this one is described as a cool blue base with a holographic glow. So here's our first coat of Lilac It Or Not. This one covers pretty well here on this first coat. I'm going to say like a 3 out of 5 for coverage on this first coat. I did get full coverage in just 2 coats. It's one of those things that maybe you will, maybe you won't need a third coat for, but I think mostly across the board, everyone should be happy with this in just 2. Again, an absolutely perfect formula. These holographic flakes really add a like 3-dimensional element to the polish without it being a jelly, so I did actually really love that. The glow of this one is absolutely stunning as well. This is going to dry a little bit dull, pretty fine, so that top coat is still something I would recommend here. It's not going to be super plump, removal will be easy, and there is no texture once this is dried. So there are 2 coats of Lilac It Or Not. Up next we have Before and Aster, and this is described as a deep cornflower leaning blue periwinkle with hollow flakes as well as a vibrant pink shimmer that shifts copper to green to gold at extreme angles. So here's our first coat of Before and Aster. I really love this polish. I have seen this color combination before where it's like this blurply color mixed with like a pinky purple with other elements, and I've always really been fond of it, and this one is no exception. I think this is so stunning. These flakes really shine through this base color, and I think it's gorgeous. I got full coverage in 2 coats. Again, I do recommend going in for that top coat just to give yourself a nice finished look on the nail. But nothing in this polish will dry textured, and nothing in this polish will be difficult to remove, but just look at that pinky glow. Gorgeous. So there are 2 coats of Before and Aster. Next up we have Simply Iris-istible, and this is described as a muted royal purple loaded with glowing hollow flakes. And this one also has a shifty quality that goes from a rose to copper to gold to green and blue. Here's our first coat of Simply Irresistible or Iris-istible. I love this color too. It's wild that the Blurply Purplies are my top picks of the collection, but these were very well done to me. Formula is excellent, pretty opaque here on this first coat. Once again, I was able to achieve full coverage in 2 coats. I had no running, no pulling, and no staining, and I do love the kind of golden effect that is in this. I do recommend going in for that top coat. It is going to give your polish a nice plump finish. Nothing in here is going to dry textured, and removal will be easy. So there are 2 coats of Simply Iris-istible. And lastly for today we have Ultraviolet, and this is described as a warm purple reflective shade. So the reflective glitter that's in here is a purple, but it's also much brighter of a purple than the base color. And here's our first coat of Ultraviolet. This is definitely the most sheer of the collection. I did need 3 full coats to get this one full coverage. I find that with these reflective glitters, I have to go in a little bit thicker on anything after my first coat because it is going to take some extra polish to fill in the gaps due to the texture that's created from this reflective glitter element. But I'm not mad at that whatsoever. So here's our second coat, and I think I was just happier with the base color at 3 coats, but I did want to throw it out there. This is actually the top pick of the collection for me. I think I'm coming around to purple polish just as I get older, and I really enjoyed this one. I think it's the perfect kind of warm, cool. There's the cool element from the glitter and then the warm element from the actual base color, and I really enjoyed it. So again, we are working with the reflective glitter. It is going to dry to a sandy finish, a couple coats of top coat, or a glitter smoother to smooth everything out, and removal will be quite difficult. So there are 3 coats of ultraviolet. And here's our look at the complete collection. I love this color story. I see the entire rainbow in this, and I think it is absolutely stunning. I love KB Shimmer's formulas. I love KB Shimmer's polishes. I have 0 complaints across the board. Everything was very well done. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.